Oof. Do you smell that? That's you cooking up your goals. Okay, I've lost everybody. Guys, this is like the 19th time that I've tried to record this episode today. I don't want to say Mercury retrograde, but also don't be so on brand then, okay? My computer was just not working. It just decided it didn't want to work. So what I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the business, okay? I'm going to give you the best of what I've got. I've been trying to record this episode for 3 hours. But listen, the goal is that we're going to get it done. And that is what we're talking about today. All of the energy has been building up towards what do you want, right? That was an episode from, I don't know, a couple months back. Like, what do you really want? And we are in this beautiful liminal space of quiet, of rebirth, of stillness. But it's not, nothing's happening, but it feels, the only word that keeps coming to mind, and I apologize in advance, fertile. This is fertile ground for you to make everything you want happen. Now, I have a lot of issue with a lot of teachers, quote unquote, and just, you guys know how I feel. Everybody's a healer. Everybody's got all your answers. And if anybody's being honest, they're going, I don't know, I'm on a spinning rock in an infinite universe and I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But here is what I know, that there's lots of people that talk about, if you want to have a goal, it has to be super specific, that be super specific with your manifestations, because that's, the energy of the universe. And other people are like, well, you have to hold the vision, but stay open to what's going to happen. Here's what I'm going to say about all that. What works for you, baby? If specificity works for you, I'm here for it. If knowing the specificity of exactly what it is, and that's the job title and where it's going to be and in what city, fuck yeah. All right. I'm here for it. What I want to help you integrate is practical action. You guys know I'm all about that. I love a vision board. Mama loves a vision board. Okay. I love my entire space here that I'm recording is the manifestation of a vision board. Everything that's back behind the camera that you guys can't see, every trinket, every single thing I've picked because of the energy, and it's the energy of future me and da. Okay. You can do whatever you want and pick your crystals. If you are not taking direct, aligned action consistently towards what you want, then you only have a fancy office. You only have a cute vision board, okay? If you guys have been listening or following along for a while, you know that that's my MO, right? That's why I tell people I'm an intuitive comedian. I hold two things to be true at once. I both believe that we are continually in a process of evolution and we can have whatever it is that we want. And also, we don't know anything. Isn't this hilarious? And what are we doing here, right? I think two things can be true at once. So what I am suggesting, if you're on board, for this time specifically, right now, from November, December, early January, okay, another thing that I have an issue with, New Year's. We're celebrating a new year in the dead of winter, at least here in the States. People are like, new year, new me. I'm like, new year, new you. I'm still asleep. I'm like, it's 40 degrees. And then if you live here in the South and the next day it's 70 and then it's 40 again, it's dark outside all the time. I'm like, I don't know. Not a lot is blooming here. Okay. New year, new me. We're in trouble if this is where we're at. Right. So it's winter, and I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I've never been a fan of it. In fact, there's always been a part of me that gets to this part of the year and I'm like, and we're giving up. Like whatever we were working on, I'm like, and no one gives a shit. Like I get to winter and I'm like, yeah, I'm not here for it. Like fall, I'm like, oh my God, but everything's dying away. And, and like all these spiritual downloads from the, the season, and same thing with spring and with summer. And for whatever reason, where it's like, this is the time to hibernate or this or that. I haven't valued it. And what a fucking shame, because winter isn't here to fuck you up. Although those of us with, seasonal depression, we're like, okay, well, I would like to say otherwise. Okay. Cause it's fucking up my mood. And obviously I'm joking about those things. I also don't take them lightly. I know they can be very serious for people, but I think, if you could read between the lines with me on this one, there is a lot of that for us, where we just kind of fuck you, winter, and we don't And I think that, like, if I could put my spiritual teacher hat on for this message, is it's really, don't pass up what winter really wants to offer you. For so many of us, winter is this throwaway, and there's really this message here of, like, she's like, don't sleep on me, girl. Like, don't sleep on me. Like, I am magical and mystical, and, like, if you just love on me, like, bitch, I'm going to get you to where you want to be. And there's something about this energy this year. I don't know if it's that I'm more tuned into it or it's louder, but that is what I want to offer you, is like, do not sleep on this. I'm not saying do, go, be. It's the dead of winter, right? We know this, of like, there are different seasons for different actions, but there is a sense of being awake that's being asked of you. There is a sense of, again, we've asked this question so much, but I think it's being revisited. What do you want? What is the goal? Where are you trying to go? And again, whether that specificity helps for you or the vision and then the, like being led intuitively works for you. But we have to this is the season that we get to review. Right now, as I've desperately tried to record this in one take, it's Mercury retrograde, okay? And a lot of people, they hate on Mercury retrograde. I'll tell you what, it's inconvenient. It's been an inconvenient day, but I love it. I do, because life moves so fast, and there's so much that is asked of us all day long. Do this, answer this, do this. Do you want this? Say no. And then the world is also, did you see this? Did you read this? Oh, we did this. Oh, we changed the algorithm. Oh, did you do this? Guess who's bombing who? And it's overwhelming that we so rarely have the moments, the opportunities to review. What do you want to take with you? So what we're going to do is we are going to talk goals. We are going to talk runway. We are going to talk about setting you up for success. As I've been projecting for months on this podcast, our physical life changes in March. There are big things that are coming. And I don't mean to be, like every tarot reader on TikTok that's like, your life is about to change. Okay. Y'all know I've been going hard for them TikTok readers, but it is big and it is a shift. That doesn't mean that, like, there's, your whole life is going to change and you're going to get the thing, but life starts responding to you differently, right? Because the way that you have been responding, the things that you've been saying yes to, the things that you have been accepting, the behavior that you've been accepting, the way you talk about yourself, the way you dress, the way that you, just all of these things, jobs, everything. You have to remember that just like with the seasons changing, the universe, God, the divine, the creator, it also has to shift. That internal shift has been happening for us for months, for some of us years. And that definitive, like, fuck off, this is me now, has happened. And so many of us have had that click over. But then we're looking around and going, okay, well, everything that I've dreamed for is not manifested yet. So what's going on, right? Rather than going, first of all, can you just enjoy a respite? Like, can you just enjoy people not fucking needing you and being up your butt crack all the time? Like, all we ever want is, like, we're like, oh, I want a break. And then we get one. And all of us are suddenly running to Oracle cards and readers and people and our Bibles and everything else, being like, somebody give me the answer. So again, I think that this retrograde, should you choose this, as a practice, I think it really is this opportunity to make sure that we are fully aligned, because there is this respite before things are going to pick up again, and everybody's going to need you, and everybody's going to be up your butt and answer this and do. And you want to make sure that when you are taking that action, it is aligned towards where it is that you are trying to go, because nothing is in your way now. I want you to hear me when I say that again. Nothing is in your way now, including you. You view the world differently. What you want is different, right? So it's going to take a minute, like, to shake this up. Imagine the world like an algorithm, and sorry, then I started thinking all about, simulation theory? And I'm like, oh no, my ADD brain, it's like, now run that way. But imagine that the world is like an algorithm. And if you were posting all about, like, you're a practitioner and everything that you were posting was about like nervous system healing. And then you went dark on socials for a while and you came back and all of a sudden you were sharing your thrifting DIYs. You wanted to shift that page. Okay, you were clear that what you were doing and what you wanted to do, you went dark and now you're back, but it's going to take a little bit of time for that algorithm to start to recognize that you're putting something new out there. It's going to have to find new people for you. It's going to have to find new filters for you. You're going to have to figure out how you're wanting to do this. What are you trying to say? That same thing is happening in your physical world. You're responding, you're showing up differently. It's going to take a minute for those things to start to materialize for you. So one of the ways that we can make sure, again, we're no longer standing in our own way, one of the most, can I give you a Rachel LaForce guarantee? One of the most guaranteed ways to get to where you want to go the fastest is making sure that your goals, your priorities, what you're doing every day, again, we've been talking about this, what you're doing in your daily is what your life is going to be. But that may be hard for some of you. I know that's true for me. I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do in my daily now to ensure that by March of next year, I am who I say I am? I'm going to tell you what, it kind of fucking sucks because I actually need to go to bed on time, which is not fun for me and my brain. But I know that there are, and that's also an example of like, that's not hard. That's just, it's just deciding. Right? So that's the thing too, that there's a lot of new things for you. Like we're not having to do these major shifts like we've been doing for months and months and months. So don't do what I've done before, which is get to this time of the year and give the fuck up. I don't care. It's cold. No one cares. Everything's shutting down. Okay, whatever. Everybody's in their own thing. No, use this time. Use this time. That is the biggest message right now is like, do not sleep on yourself. Do not sleep on the changes that you've made. Do not, oh, my whole body's lit up, you guys. Like, do not sleep on the work that you've done. Write it down, celebrate it. Like, that's the other thing. That's what this Mercury retrograde is such a great opportunity of like, look back, my dude. Like, what have you done? What have you let go of? What have you accepted? What have you decided that you want to do differently now? Because it's different now. And that's because you decided. So this is kind of two things. One, we've got to do that exercise first. We have to see how we have shifted, right? We went from the practitioner doing healing stuff on Instagram and now, for a terrible metaphor, and now we are, we're projecting our thrifting and our DIY videos. Like, I need you to sit with like, what is that shift that you've made? Because you need to see your own commitment. You need to see your own commitment to change, to evolution in real time. Because also what that's going to do is it's going to strengthen you. There's this churning that's happening. There's this energy, this sound that I keep hearing, which is like, whoom, whoom, whoom. Hold the applause. And that sound, there is massive momentum and this shift that's coming in. It's almost like the building up of this wave, okay? And dare I say, this is the wave of change. Trademark, you've heard it here, okay? But it is. And what it wants to do is it wants you to catch the wave. You need to be ready to catch the fucking wave because it's coming and it's going to get you to where you want to be faster than if you're not paying attention and you try to get there yourself. You're still going to get there. Like, there's no stopping you now. I want to be clear. Like, you're fucking getting the thing. You're getting your bag, okay? But how do you want to do it? Ooh, hold on. I hear it. It's, if you choose to not, it's really a difference of faith. That's what it is. It's a difference of faith. If you stay in this zone, if you stay, dare I say, locked in, right? You are locked in, you are in this space, you're going to be able to catch that wave and it's going to get you to where you want to be. Doesn't mean that like it's going to be this miraculous, like somebody out of the blue calls you and they're like, hey, I have this perfect thing for you. And you're like, oh, wow, this solves everything. I think you're going to be getting, a lot of us are going to be getting more of those opportunities, which is like the other part of this preparation right now, because the biggest thing is like, we want you ready in March, right? And I'm giving you arbitrary timelines. So, read between the lines, but hold on. So many messages here. The get ready and then the wave. Okay. I want to finish these two out. The getting ready is because you may think like, oh, but I am ready. Like, let me give you an example for me, right? So we've been turning over my website. Go check out rachelleforce.com. Okay. She looks real cute. She's cuter on a desktop. We could only do so many customizations on the phone app. Okay. But she's cute. She's real cute. And that's taken a lot of time. That is in preparation for being ready for the jobs that I want for what we're doing, right? So I could argue like, okay, I'm ready, but it's like, all right, how else are you ready? Do you have every other component that you need? And that's not coming from an old place of like overworking. There's a balance here. It's not, oh, I need to prove myself. It's, I want to be able to step into the job easily when the job comes my way. Right? It's the lack. Ooh, that's what it is. It's pulling out. I keep saying this is an image I've seen before. It's tweezers. It's pulling out the old patterns of chaos for you. So now it's not about, oh, let me show you every single thing I can do. So pick me, pick me, pick me. That's not the energy here. It's, I know that I move differently. I operate differently. So me preparing and getting ready is so that when somebody says yes, when these yeses start popping off and they're going to get faster and faster, I have the energy to ground myself. I have the energy to fucking enjoy the fruits of my labor. And that's what I say to you of like, you have gotten so used to things being hard, things being a struggle, being chose second, being all of these things that like, that's part of this get ready. Like, that's not true for you anymore. You know the difference, okay? And so when these yeses start showing up, that piece of be ready is so that you can go in there with your full self and not with pieces of old self of pick me or, oh, I don't know, or imposter syndrome or this or that. Like, dude, we're over that. We're over that. We've moved beyond that. Okay. And knowing it and feeling it in a vacuum, which is this kind of space right now for a lot of us. It's like learning how to walk again. Well, that's easy when no one's paying attention. It's easy when there's not balancing that energy on top of people saying yes and the new things coming in and, you know, meeting a potential new partner's family or like, you know, any of these things that add more dramatization to you operating as this new person, this new being. And there's so much fucking freedom here and there's so much excitement that I don't want you to miss out on any of that. And so that's why this be ready goes into this catching the wave of like, when you are ready and you're able to catch this wave, it's not that everything is solved for you outside of you, but it's that you are so in the zone and ready and trusting the process that you just whoom, and you get to where you need to be with ease. That doesn't mean without working, but it's easier, right? Like if you're trying to swim to shore with no waves, that is hard, right? But if you want to do it where you surf the wave and come in, it's going to be a lot easier. It doesn't mean that you weren't working. You had to like get ready for it, jump on the board, swim in, stay balanced. Like there's still a lot happening, but you're being assisted. And that's what they're saying of like, okay, you've done your work, which is like show the fuck up, fix patterns, like knock this shit down. You do not accept it anymore. Okay, great. Now we can come in and support you, right? But the universe, your guides, you know, however you define it, they couldn't come in to support you because you hadn't built the infrastructure for them to do that, right? And now they're saying like, okay, like, cool, well, we can make this shit happen for you. Like, this is easy now. You already did all the hard work. You know, it was like being in a group project with the universe, but you already like did most of the work. They're like, yeah, we can show up and fucking help you like do the project now. Like, this is easy, right? So let it be easy. Friends, I would be remiss to not interrupt this episode to let you know about my upcoming Goal Getter sessions. Your dream life is practical because vision without action is wasted potential. These 90-minute sessions will give you the structure, strategy, and soul level clarity to make your vision real. Every 30 days, you'll join a group of like-minded creators, leaders, and dreamers who are ready to move from intention to implementation. Together, we'll break your goals into actionable steps, create systems that support your energy, and build momentum towards the life you're meant to live. This isn't about manifesting. It's about making it real because your dream life is practical. You just need a plan. Our first session begins December 7th. the easier it's going to be is dependent on how you use this time. And again, that doesn't mean that you have to be in like deep action. Some of you may be, I'm getting that like some of you may have 9 to 5s where it's like easier in your actual job. So you have more energy outside, you know, you may have more time off from work during the holidays that's giving you that energy back. So if that feels aligned and resonates with you, like, fuck yeah, use this energy, you know, because not as many people need you. And there's like something really, I think, special here about this like dark time. Like there's something about it that like wants to help you like materialize this thing that you're working on. So just as like a side message that just came through. So that's something to think about. But for the majority of us, it's like, okay, what is the difference of taking a bunch of action? Because also like there's this enjoyment piece that keeps coming up of like, okay, we also have to get used to enjoying our life now. Because we have been so stuck in survival mode, so many of us, that like, I mean, you could like touch on joy, you know, like you're not going to like go to a wedding and be like, I'm overwhelmed. Like, no, like you had a couple drinks, like you hung out, you took cute pictures, like you can touch on it, like you can tag it. But what they're saying now is like the magnetism that you're looking for, the freedom that you're looking for is like your ability to like, it's not like to be joy. That isn't it. But like, you have to be able to acknowledge like taking breaks. And I think that's where this aligned action is coming in of like, yes, be ready. And I hate these messages where it's like, follow the rules, but then break them. Right. Which is very like improv background for me, where it's like, you have to learn the rules to break the rules. But that's like what a lot of this is of like, when we set ourselves up, we lock into this energy and this frequency that is going to magnetize the things to you that you want in a way that feels honestly easy, because you're just locked in now. And also staying ready, staying in that place. But when you know that like you're regulated and everything that you need is already in place, you are able to incorporate more of that joy, more of that presence, because you're not constantly being like, like that energy has dissipated. So there is more where like you are paying attention to that wave and making those adjustments. There's more of like, almost like levels. You're like playing with more levels now. That's giving you more energy rather than just being stuck in survival mode or stuck in pick me. There's nowhere to go. And now I'm just seeing, like I keep seeing like free play. That's what I keep seeing is just like kids running around like free play. And so that is a lot of this energy, right? So, okay, LaForce. So bring it home. What does all this mean? These 2 months, whether it's in action or in rest and reflection, right? And whatever the thing is that's the most supportive for you right now, the number one thing that we can do is get clear on what is the goal and what are the goals that we need to set up for ourselves, or even like a roadmap. It may not be like a goal per se of like, oh, I want to, like for me, it was like finish my website, right? That was like an actual goal. There's something I could do, work my way through that, and then like cross it off the list. So there may be those actual goals for you, or it may be a roadmap. And when I'm talking about a roadmap, I'm thinking like Candyland, right? Like if you, I think it's if you roll the die or you land on the wrong spot and it's like, go back to start, right? Like what we want to do is setting up that roadmap is making sure as best as we can, you know, quote unquote, control, you're not ending up on back of one of those of like, go back to start, because that's what we've already done. But how that's going to happen is when you're not clear on making aligned choices, right? So when you go back to saying things that you don't say yes to anymore, so on and so forth, right? You didn't, like you knew, but you said yes anyway, hoping for a different outcome, and it wasn't a different outcome. Okay, go back to start. So one of the things that I'm doing, shameless plug, it's not shameless, or it is shameless. That's what shameless means. It's a confident plug, I think is what it is. December 7th at 4 p.m., I am hosting the first Goal Getters session. Okay. It's our first one will probably be like 60 plus minutes. So it's pretty like boom, in and out. This is a group virtual like community hang. Okay. We're all going to get on. I'll talk briefly about the energies, what we're here to do. And then I have a series of quick exercises that we can all do independently that is going to help you put together, whether it's these goals or your roadmap. Okay. Because what I love about this is there's so many of us that like, you already know what it is. Like, you don't need to come to me for a one-on-one session, right? Like, you are already like, no, I know what to put in there. The issue becomes we're all so busy. We don't make that time. So I've created a safe space for us. I've literally created a safe space for us to be able to come in. You can put it on your calendar, come in, and then I can walk you through that. You can already bring your framework and we can start to put it together. And I'm holding this every 6 weeks. So if you want to, you can join every 6 weeks. You could join quarterly, like whatever, again, your goals and your alignment is. And what I love about it is it's going to keep me honest and keep me towards where I want to go, right? And then also providing that space for other people. And within the community, we're going to have so many folks that are of like mind that there may be people in that group and what they do solves one of your goals. That solves like, oh, I was looking for this person, or I was looking for an expert on this thing. There's a very high probability that that person exists within our community and within our group. So that's something else that I love, especially because if you've attended, group sessions of like-minded people, you'll find most of the time that group that's gathered all were there for the same reason. And you'll go, oh, weird. I had like that word was on my board too. And they're like, oh, I was struggling with that same thing. And that's because the energies align. So if this is for you, if you're feeling like, I feel like this is for me, it's for you. Okay. I've made it highly affordable. So that way it's like, enough to keep you honest, that you show up and you put forth what you need to and what your dreams deserve, what your life deserves. Because you guys, I always say like your dream life is practical. No more of this bullshit of like, everybody acts like a dream was placed. I mean, I'm not saying like, I don't have a dream of being in the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like, let's have a dream that feels somewhat feasible. But the things that you can't stop thinking about or dreaming about are feasible. They are practical. In fact, the most impractical thing to do is to continue to do the opposite of what it is that you know that you're being called to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're all going to get together and make those goals. But I like that the first one is actually coming at the end of this year. So that way it's like, okay, let's get aligned. Like for the next 6 weeks, like what are we really needing to put in place so that when we quote unquote start the new year, like we're already starting off of that place. And I definitely feel like if you think that this is for you, if you're feeling called to it, like definitely participating for like the first couple ones in the beginning of the year to get you ready to like grab that wave and get to where you're going. It makes a huge fucking difference. Like you don't, when everybody starts to show up for you, and again, they're gonna start to show up, like your job, and this is the difference between where you've been before. Because last message here, I feel like so many of you are this new place of elevation, mentally, spiritually, maybe even physically. But you're revisiting things you've done before. Like there is that big, like, okay, let's try this again energy. But it doesn't feel daunting this time. You don't feel out of control. You feel super aligned. You feel ready. And that is really that like readiness energy. It's not like the anxious energy of like waiting, right? Like when you see people lined up for a relay and everyone's like they're tense, and their backs up and their two hands to the ground, like waiting for that gun to go off to take off running. It's not that sense of ready. It feels like really just like ephemeral, ethereal, like hosting vibes. Like if you're at someone's home who's like really loves hosting, and while there's a lot going on, they're just kind of like floating through the room in a way that feels really grounded. And you may come over and be like, oh my gosh, I got something on my shirt. Like, it's not to be an inconvenience, but like, do you have anything that can get this out? And they're like, oh yeah, I've got like this thing or this thing. Like they're just so ready to be able to like activate and problem solve and participate in a way that feels like grounded. And there's a lot of that energy that's here, because also when you're grounded, as all these opportunities show up, like that shit is fucking attractive. People are going to be like, how are you doing this? Like that's going to be something you're going to start to hear a lot from people. Like they're going to be mystified by your ability to do all of these things. But it doesn't feel, this isn't the message of like women can do it all, right? And everyone's just like sweating, holding children and trying to work full time. Like that, again, that's not the vibe. That's why people can't figure out how you can do what you do, because they may still be, and this is not a judgment on other people. Okay. We're all on our own journey. This is just for teaching purposes. All right. But they're still stuck in that survival mode. And when you're still stuck in that place, you can't see the lusciousness or that sense of like, no, I can do this. Like I'm ready now. I know what needs my attention and what doesn't. I know what's worth my energy and what isn't. I know what is a fuck yes and I know what's a fuck no. And so when people ask me how I do it, it's like there's not another way to do it. Like this is the only way to do it, and it's to move with aligned action. So I'm going to leave it there. Please come back and listen to this episode. You too, Rachel LaForce, like come back and listen to it. There's so much here. I know a lot of those messages were kind of coming in and like braiding themselves together as we went through. But hey, fucking welcome to the show. But I think it's all so potent. I think it's there. There's this sense of be ready, tapping in with the joys, having this grounded energy to move from thing to thing. And that's all about trusting yourself now, that groundedness, your ability to take aligned action and get those goals, to go for those goals. That's the difference here too. The shift is, well, I can do this now because I know where I'm going. Or like if I asked you to make a goals list like 6 months ago, a year ago, that would have been overwhelming. It would have felt task oriented. And that's the shift now. This goals list is not about adding things to your plate. It's about getting clear on where you're going and knowing that it's like a lily pad. I see somebody like jumping from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad. Like this is just what we do now in order to quote unquote ensure the outcome of what it is that we're wanting, and knowing that outcome will probably be bigger, better, and faster than what we could imagine. But that's not our job to do. That's the universe's job. That's the divine. That's God, right? Our job is to trust ourselves now and know that where we're going is where we're meant to be. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I am just glad it took me all day to get this episode recorded, and hopefully you're getting to watch this version and there's not an issue in post. But if you've seen this is a miracle. Okay. Let's celebrate that small win. This is a miracle. I'm so glad to be here. Again, if you have any questions about the Goal Getter sessions, please let me know. We are running a major Black Friday sale, so please be aware of that. That will be coming out. You'll get all of that goodness. If you have any specific questions about the sessions, how they're going to go, what to expect, you can DM me. I'm a real human, so feel free to send me a message and I will get back with you and answer any of your questions. I am so excited to see you. And, yeah, I just can't wait for like all the shit that we're going to fucking do. This is awesome. All right. As always, tune out, tune in. Love you, mean it.